Welcome to Voices of the Valley, a captivating podcast series that brings together some of the brightest minds in the agriculture industry. Straight from the field to your living room, we explore the challenges, innovation, and triumphs in modern-day farming and provide insight for consumers who are curious about where their food comes from. Today on Voices of the Valley, we are coming to you from Irvine, the heart of Orange County, California, where we are joined by fourth-generation farmer Kenny Tanaka. Kenny, thank you for being here with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Here in Orange County, everyone knows about Tanaka Farms. Do you feel like a celebrity sometimes?
Sometimes it's amazing how many people, like when I wear my shirt out and going around town, people say, you work at Tanaka Farms? And it's amazing how many people have been here. And it's just amazing how many people know about us.
As a longtime resident of Orange County, I'm certain many families in the area share a story similar to our own. My son is 16 years old now, and my wife and I began taking him to Tanaka Farms when he was barely a year old. In fact, many of my early Facebook and Instagram posts are from our visit to Tanaka Farms. We would take our son to the U-Pick farm tours. Each season, Tanaka Farm provides a different farm tour experience. We would go on the strawberry tours in the spring, the melon tours in the summer, and to the pumpkin patch in the fall. Our favorite tour was, hands down, the strawberry tour. We would jump on the tractor-pulled wagon and with dozens of other families, and along the way to the strawberry field, we would stop at various points to sample freshly harvested crops from carrots to celery to onions. I understand you don't do that anymore since COVID. You've changed your protocols, but I remember my son would love to throw the uneaten portion of the samples off the side of the wagon. I think that was allowed, right?
Yeah, it was like compost back into the ground.
Then we would get to the strawberry field. Each one of us had an empty clamshell and about 10 minutes to fill it up. There was also a rule that you could eat as many strawberries as you could during those 10 minutes, which my son took as a challenge. He would come back after those 10 minutes with a face and shirt absolutely covered in red strawberry stains. I'm not sure if he ever managed to actually fill his clamshell, but I'm certain he ate his weight in strawberries every time he went. You guys probably lost more money off us than you made. But somehow that never seemed like the point. On your website, you have a tagline that reads, "Cultivate memories, connecting family and community, one crop at a time." I can't tell you how many memories my family has created at Tanaka Farms, and for that, I thank you and your family.
Oh, thanks for coming out all the time. Yeah, it's fun to see all the kids have fun and get strawberries all over their shirts.
And those shirts are gone forever. They're stained and they never recover. In a day and age where many consumers are disconnected from the source of their food supply, talk to me about the mission of Tanaka Farms. Why do you think it's so important to connect families and communities to agriculture?
With our tours, we like to see the kids get their hands dirty and actually see where their food comes from. Most kids and parents, they go to the grocery store and they have all kinds of fruits and vegetables at their fingertips, and they don't know what goes into really what gets it to the store. And being a family-run farm, having a little small stand, people get to know us, and hopefully they come back and see how fresh it is, to see where it's picked, and then when we sell it, and hopefully it tastes a lot better that way. And kids seem to, once they pick it, they seem to actually try things. And some parents are really amazed when the kid picks it. They said, oh, they took it home, they helped prep it, cook it, and they actually tried what they picked. Yeah, so it's just a great feeling to hear those stories.
Yeah, the sense of ownership when they pick it, when they help prepare it, they're much more likely to try it, expand their palate, and hopefully develop lifelong positive habits around health and nutrition. The hallmark of Tanaka Farms is, without a doubt, the U-Pick farm tours. Can you describe what a visitor might experience during one of your farm tours?
So like on our strawberry tour, we take you around the farm in our tractor-pulled wagon. We'll have a tour guide on there telling you about the history of the farm, farming practices, how things are grown. And one of the stops, you'll get to pick out whatever vegetable we have in season at that time. It could be kale, tomatoes, zucchinis, green beans, anything we have available. So you'll go out there and pick a vegetable, and then at the end of the strawberry tour, get on the strawberry field. We grow our strawberries in raised beds, so you don't have to bend over and pick it. Everything's eye level or right around waist height, so it's really easy to pick. But it's just my favorite time of year where you get to pick and eat strawberries off the vine. Kids get to experience picking, eating, and they get to really see which ones taste good too. They see a red one, half green, they'll sometimes eat it and they go, oh, it's sour. Yeah. But they find ones, we tell them to make sure it's all red all the way around. And when they pick it and eat it, a little bit of warmth on there, just can't beat that feeling of a fresh strawberry. After they pick the fruits, they go into our barnyard animals. We have a lot of rescue animals. We have chickens, goats, sheep, cows, miniature horses, turkeys, pigs. And it's just unique to see them up close and personal with those types of animals. And each animal has a story, which our barnyard attendants are really good at telling those stories. And it's just a little feeling that, they're rescued. And some of them, like our cow, actually, she was on commercials and things.
Okay.
So after she's done with that, she came here to live the rest of her life. So yeah, a lot of the animals have really cool stories.
I love that, and helping to establish that connection with the animals as well as the land. You mentioned some of the crops that you grow. How exactly do you select the crops to include in your farm tour experiences?
So our main one is strawberries. During the summertime is our watermelons. We have, actually it's all types of melons. We have our yellow watermelon, the red watermelon. We have some cantaloupes, honeydew, different varieties that really have a little bit different flavor to them. So we let you try it. We cut them up and let you try it on the tours. During our pumpkin patch, of course, pumpkins is our main crop at that time. But also during the summer, we have corn, our white sweet corn, which it's really amazing. If you ever tried raw corn, if you buy a corn from us and try it raw, it's almost sweet. You don't really need to cook it. It's amazing.
My wife was talking about that. I was telling her I was going to interview you, and she's like, "Oh, the roasted corn at Tanaka Farms." She loves your corn.
Yeah.
It's been a few years since we've taken our son to Tanaka Farms, and it looks like you've expanded the range of experiences you offer. You talked about the petting zoo. In addition to that, your pickup tours, what else might a visitor experience during a trip to your farm?
So we've really gotten to the food aspect. People, all these events you do, it's all about the food. So during our main Easter, we have Easter luncheon, Mother's Day, Father's Day. We're trying to do some summer luncheons, and it's just a unique experience. We take you on a wagon to the top of the hill, nice view of the farm. You see the outskirts of Newport Beach of the high rises, and we feed you a buffet lunch. Depends on what it is, but our specialty is a tri-tip, barbecue chicken, vegetable sides, things from the farm. So it's just a different experience that you wouldn't get at a restaurant, and people really flock to it. We've been doing it probably about, maybe 8 years now. And first couple of years was kind of slow as we built up, but now each event is pretty much filled up, and we have repeat customers because people just enjoy the food and just like the atmosphere of being out on the farm.
Yep. And no, that direct connection, it's an immediate connection from the crops in the field to the food on their plate. Now let's zoom out a bit on the story here and go back to the beginning. Tanaka Farms has deep Japanese-American roots and an incredibly unique and inspiring story. Can you walk us through a brief history of the Tanaka family farming legacy and how Tanaka Farms got its start?
So my great-grandfather came from Hiroshima, Japan, and when he came, he was just a farmhand. That's all he knew, so he worked on a farm. But during World War II, our family had to go into, actually my dad's side didn't have to go into the camps. They fled to Utah. They had a family friend, so they went to stay with them. After the war, when they came back, my grandfather started farming in Huntington Beach, Fountain Valley, and they were mainly big strawberry and tomato growers. So they would try to ship cross country. Everything was wholesale. When my dad took over, he tried to get really big. He got up to about 300 or 400 acres of strawberries and tomatoes, bought a packing shed so that they picked, packed, and shipped across the country. And they went through some really tough years. That was about the time Mexico was starting to import into the U.S. So drove prices really low. And they had about 2 years where they almost lost pretty much everything. We had to sell off the warehouse that they had bought, refinance the house, and he always told me running a business off of credit cards, loans 25% interest at that time, where he didn't really. My parents, when early 80s when I was born, they didn't want me to be a farmer. They knew how much work it was, and just what they were going through was really tough. And that's what he's been instilling me all the time now. Past about 6 years since his agritourism really picked up, started actually making some money now, so we've kind of been consistent. So he just keeps on driving into me, don't screw this up, because he doesn't want to go back to the place where they were back in the 80s and 90s. But that was pretty much how our family came into farming.
So in the late 1990s is when your dad moved the farming operation to your current location on Strawberry Farm Road. You talked about the transition away from wholesale farming to agritourism. When did that really start to take off, and what do you think was responsible for the growth in interest in agritourism from the public?
So they say the agritourism part started with my class, which I don't know if it's true or not, but they said my mom took my class out to the farm, just showed us some seeds and showed us how things grow, let us take a pumpkin home, and the class really enjoyed it. So before early 90s, they did that, started built up, more of a community service type thing. Didn't charge much, just wanted to get people out. And so we did that probably through the 90s, early 90s, when we moved over to this place where we're at on University now. In 1998, we lost one of our big produce stands in Cypress. That was our only way we were surviving. And we lost that because of development. So that's when the agritourism, he thought, we got to figure out a way to make monies off these schools that are coming out. So started charging it a little bit more, and by that time, word of mouth really got going and had a bunch of schools that were coming year after year, and Pumpkin Patch really started picking up. It wasn't probably until about I graduated college in 2005, and at that time we were talking and really thought, there's a place that I could come onto the farm and make an impact, or at least help out, and the farm could be able to support me as well. So when I came on, my focus was really the agritourism part. So started with the pumpkin patch. We started doing some strawberry tours, and that was when it really took off. People enjoyed coming out the farm, get their hands dirty, try some fruits and vegetables when it's nice and fresh. And I think just the connection with the community and people coming out, they couldn't beat the experience.
That's phenomenal. As one of the few remaining farms in Orange County, you talked about losing your farm stand in Cypress to development. What challenges have you faced farming in Orange County, and how have you overcome them when a lot of other farms have gone away?
I think the way we really survived, my dad was really good at pivoting, and he came up with the agritourism thing, and he's really instilled the farm with change. So after all these years, creating new aspects of the farm, so I think that's the only way we were able to survive with the agritourism. If it wasn't for the agritourism, we probably wouldn't be around anymore, like a lot of the other farmers in the area. Some of those other farms are starting to catch on, and they're starting to do some sort of agritourism. You pick strawberries, and I think there's enough to go around. It's amazing. We're in a city with so many people that there is enough for these other farmers to start doing, and start helping them support themselves that way. Wholesaling, especially in a city like this, it really isn't economically viable for someone to make it. It's just the rent, water, it's just too hard to make it on a wholesale. So we don't do any wholesale anymore. Everything's direct retail. We do a CSA program, Community Supported Agriculture, so everything's direct to the consumer. And I think that's the only way we were able to survive all these years.
Yeah, to talk a little bit about the CSA and the popularity of is it a box that you deliver to people's homes? How does that work?
Yeah, so it's a box that we started. We have two sizes, a small and a large size. And it was, at first, we worked with all these schools, and my dad thought, what a better way to use those schools and try to get them to eat a little bit healthier. So it started as a fundraiser for the schools. We would deliver boxes. They'd get signups, and we delivered those boxes to the schools. And over the years, we're up to about 600 boxes a week now. During COVID, we started the home delivery program where we deliver boxes to people's homes as well, and that really picked up. So before it was maybe 5%, but now it's up to about 30% of the boxes we deliver. But there are still a lot of schools that use it as a fundraiser. We'll deliver weekly or bi-weekly, and people really like it. They're learning how to use fresh fruits and vegetables. On the opposite side of that, we high turnover rate for those schools because they think, it's a good idea, we'll use it for a fundraiser, but people don't cook a lot, and they don't know how to use a lot of these different vegetables that we put in there. So there is a high turnover rate, but the people that really like it, they've been with us a really long time. The home delivery people, they know what to expect now, and those are the ones that really stayed with us all this time. So it's a really good program, and the schools like it just because a little bit of a kickback to them, but trying to get their student body to eat a little bit healthier.
Absolutely. And I remember during COVID coming down to Tanaka Farms and grabbing some of your boxes. So I commend you guys for continuing to farm during those times and providing fresh produce to the community. That was important to our family for certain. Talk a little bit about the farming practices at Tanaka Farms. On your website, you stress the importance of sustainable farming practices. What does sustainable farming mean to your family? Give me a couple of examples of sustainable farming practices you've adopted on your farm.
The sustainable farming means to us is we try to use organic farming methods when possible. We were certified organic probably about 20 years ago when there was that niche of certified organic. We were selling to Whole Foods, so we had to be certified organic for them. But we stopped wholesaling, so we did away with the certified organic. And it's just doing things the right way, try to keep things clean. We try to use organic pesticides when we can, but we will use non-organic pesticides, low-grade synthetic pesticides if we're going to lose a crop or we can't control the pests that are in there. So we will use that. But there's a lot of misconceptions of organic and non-organic. We don't have to get into that, but people think just because it's organic, it's healthy for you. But like the organic pesticides, you have to use twice as much sometimes as synthetic pesticides just to control those pests. So it's there's a fine line between doing that.
Yeah, and farms need the flexibility to use the tools that they have to continue growing the healthy crops.
Yeah, and as far as water too, we'll use all drip irrigation. So use the least amount of water as possible, put it right by the root system. So just to be conscious of those types of things.
When visitors come to your farm for the U-Pick tours and other activities, what questions do they have about how you farm? What seems to be important to them about your practices?
I think the main thing is they know where it's coming from, who's growing their food. And once we talk to them and explain the processes we do and the things, I think most of them they like that answer, and they realize that I have 3 kids of my own and I let them go out and pick and eat straight from the field all the time. So once I explain that and all the different things, most of them are pretty good with that.
Okay, we've talked quite a bit about your family farming history. Talk to us a little bit about your own personal farming journey. You mentioned you graduated in 2005, came back to the farm at that point. What were some of your earliest experiences on the farm, and did you always know that you wanted to come back to the family business?
So when I was younger, probably the only thing I remember maybe when I was about 3rd or 4th grade, my dad would make me work a couple days in the morning before school, always one day on the weekend. The other day was for basketball. But I remember sweeping, pulling weeds. The best story I have was, I think it was summertime, but he'd make me get up early. And this one week he was making me sweep pretty much dirt off of dirt. We were trying to clean up this gravel way. So I was just sweeping dirt every day and scooping it and taking it away. And I just woke up one day, I don't want to do this anymore. So I was crying, and he took me, he goes, all right, let's go eat. We used to go coffee shop with the other farmers every once in a while. So he took me to eat, took me back to the farm and made me keep sweeping. But I think it was really just the work ethic that he was trying to instill with me at that time. They really didn't want me to do it, like I said before. Especially during the early 90s, they went through really rough times, so they didn't want me to be a farmer. It wasn't until about the early 2000s when we started to do the agritourism and started to build that up. So when I graduated in 2005, we were looking at a game plan, and there might be a room for me, and if this grows how we think it would, then I'd come on board. But I went to college for business finance, so I guess it helped a little bit, but I didn't go to school for farming.
And you certainly didn't go to school to sweep.
Sweep
dirt anymore, right? That was one requirement when you came back to the farm, right?
Yeah,
that you were not going to pick up a broom.
I still got to do that every once in a while.
Of course. Tell us a little bit about your own family. You're married with 3 children. What do your children think about the family farm?
My kids, I make them work not as much as I would like or my dad would like to see them work on the farm, but it's hit or miss. The youngest one is 3. He still likes coming to the farm because he gets to play. My oldest one is 9. My middle one is 7. They know that if they go to the farm, they're going to have to work a little bit. I've been trying to make it a little bit more fun. I've been using them on Instagram for the photos and videos. So I've been trying to get them to do that a little bit more. But I'd like them to come out to the farm. But with all sports and activities, it's really hard to get them out there on school days now. But this summer, I think they'll be working a lot more.
Yeah, and you'll instill in them the same work ethic your father instilled in you. As we wrap up our time together, kind of thinking about your kids and the future. Tell me what your hopes and dreams are for the future of Tanaka Farms.
So for the farm, right now we're exploring different collaborations. I think it's just for more to get our name out. We did collab with Hello Kitty Sanrio, and that was an eye-opener working with a company like that, where it's amazing how many followers they have and just the marketing that they did for that collaboration. We weren't prepared for it. I didn't know what I was doing when we went into that. So now we rebranded our website, and we're starting to get into the clothing a little bit more. We always sold a little bit of clothing, but really it was just for show. But now I think with these collabs and some people I'm working with, I think the farm needs a little bit of a different revenue stream. The problem with the farm is we pretty much break even, lose a lot of money before going into pumpkin season. And with pumpkin season, that's the time we make money. If we have rain during the weekend or it gets windy, we've had fires before. If we lose 1 or 2 weekends, that could be the whole profit for the year for the farm. So trying to tap into these other revenues that don't have to do with the farm will just help make it a little bit easier to get through the year. But as far as the farming part, I just still want to keep the kids, all the children that come out to farm. That's really my passion, seeing all the kids come out from the schools and just trying to reach out and trying to get more kids out to the farm to see how their food is grown and taste fresh fruits and vegetables.
Absolutely, that's terrific. Looking back on your family's farming history and what your family has built today, what are you most proud of?
I think the legacy that my dad has really built. When I was younger, I didn't know. Right out of college, I didn't think too much of it. But seeing how many people really know and how much we impact the community, like you're hearing your story of just bringing your kid out to the farm and all the years that you brought them, just hearing those stories, it really touches my heart. Just a lot of people say, my kid tried a green onion at their farm, and now he came home, and to this day he's 20, but he still will take a green onion and eat it just plain. And those are some of the great stories, and that's probably what I'm most proud of the farm. The community service aspect, all the nonprofits that we're working with, it really brings joy to see that we're actually able to help some people.
And you're having a generational impact, truly. Okay, I'm giving you the last word here. What is one thing you wish more people understood about farming and where their food comes from?
Probably just to see the amount of work that it really takes to grow the food. Even talking to people we're starting to collab with, and people I'm trying to bring in to help push the collab and help build our branding. They come in and think, they look at us and say, it looks easy and we could help you real easy. They don't see all the moving parts of the farm, and they don't realize how long it really takes to grow these things and how much planning goes into it. All the different crops, trying to rotate the crops around, trying to see where you're going to grow each crop the next season. People really don't realize how much work actually goes into farming, I think. Even, they think, just throw the seeds out and let it grow. And they don't realize the nurturing of the plants and why it's not growing, the soil, and just a lot of variables that go along with it. But that's probably one of the biggest things we preach to people when they come out, is seeing how much work that goes into the farm.
Absolutely, and develop a deeper appreciation for the farmers that put that work into growing these healthy food for us. Kenny, thank you again for your time, and thank you and your family for the wonderful connections you have made with families in our community, one crop at a time.
Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for tuning in to Voices of the Valley, a Western Growers production. As always, we'd like to give a special shout out to our guest for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe to catch our future episodes, and we invite you to follow us on social media to continue the conversation.